This is not a box talk video. So I don't know why I'm filming. I don't know what is going through my head. But this guy right here, my boy,
Tyler.
my son, look at me, you're gonna leave me hanging like that. Yeah, has convinced me to do this video. He's been asking to do a YouTube channel for about 4 years. And I'm like, you're 4 years too young. Yeah, you're not getting this.
4 years
But,
too young.
yeah, but we're gonna do a little test video and see how this goes out. So please comment opinions and what you think will be well appreciated. Yeah, suggestions will be well appreciated.
Yeah.
So Tyler, let's start with you, Tyler. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Tyler. MMA super fan. Fan of boxing.
And this is what I don't get, Tyler. How can you be an MMA super fan and a boxing fan? You're my boy.
Mm. Yeah.
So why MMA super fan and boxing fan?
Because I like MMA more than boxing, because MMA has much more to do than boxing. There's much more to think about. Yeah, because in boxing you got your standard punch, your jab, cross, hook, uppercut. Yeah, and you maybe add an overhand in it. Yeah, and variation of those punches. But in MMA you got all those punches plus spinning back fists, Superman punches, elbows, knees, kicks, takedowns, clinch game.
All right, but you're talking about obviously variety of moves. But what about obviously the nuances of boxing, like defense, ring IQ? You know, I'm trying to say that there's more to it than just the punching. I'll give you an example, Tyler. I love boxing, yeah, but I'm not a big Floyd Mayweather fan. And I don't think there's many Floyd Mayweather fights that I want to re-watch over and over again. Okay, I do love the Corrales fight. Do love the Castillo fight. Do love the Gatti fight. You know what I'm trying to say? Good fights. You know what I'm trying to say, yeah. But no one can, and much as I don't like Floyd Mayweather, no one can ever tell me he's not beautiful to watch as a boxer. Like the skill level is so unbelievable. So as much as I like, as much as you're saying there's more to watch, watching someone at the highest level do what they do, it's amazing. I don't see it with MMA. I like MMA. I do like MMA.
I see it. Yeah, because like if you look at boxing's greatest fights and you look at MMA's greatest fights, there's certain aspects which is more in MMA. Yeah.
Sorry to say, Tyler. Okay, so this is actually an unfair comment to MMA. Because MMA is a new sport.
Yeah, new one.
But there's much more greater fights in boxing than there is in MMA.
Yeah, but then there's not as much MMA fights as there is boxing fights. Yeah, but then if you look at MMA's greatest fights, if you're trying to get someone to MMA, yeah, you show them Roy McDonald versus Robbie Lawler. Yeah, that's a great fight. You watch any Robbie Lawler fight, they're all great. Yeah, or if you like knockouts from boxing, watch like a fight like Dan Henderson, Ngannou, or someone a power puncher like that to get them into it. Yeah, or if they're more like jiu-jitsu based,
but yeah.
you show them
so there's more, okay, so you're saying there's more variety.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you like the variety of it, yeah? But it doesn't mean variety don't make it a better sport.
I just like it more.
You just like it more. Alright, but you box.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do kickboxing as well. Yeah. So you understand the finer skills of boxing, if you have an understanding of it, and striking and everything. Yeah. Don't you think boxing is a more complex sport in terms of having a limited skill set compared to the variety of MMA, but you could do so much more? Because if you look at the level of boxers in MMA and the level of boxers in boxing, it's night and day. You get the best boxer in MMA and throw him in the boxing ring, yeah, they won't be world champion.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean they can't be good.
I'm not saying they're not good. I'm just saying there's definitely a skill level, because when I look at stand up, when I look at hand fighting in MMA and look at the hand skills in boxing, it's like looking at a pro versus an amateur. Would you agree? Would you disagree? What do you think?
Disagree. Yeah.
Why?
I think the best boxers, if you think about best boxers in like UFC or MMA, like if you think about Max Holloway, the Diaz brothers, and like Robbie Lawler, yeah, I think they can all be decent like boxers.
Oh, decent, yeah.
Yeah, decent. Not the best. Because they're not training to box. They're training to box, do kicks, do wrestling, do all of that. They're prepared for all of that. If they had a full like 6 weeks, yeah, and devoted their whole career to boxing, I think they could be top contenders.
6 weeks?
Yeah, no, it's like,
Are you crazy?
No. I mean the 6 week camp. If they do that over and over again.
6 week camp just to do boxing is not going to take over years and years of doing boxing.
I know, but then if they have like, if they devoted their whole career to boxing,
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, then I think there'll be champions.
So the guys you mentioned, Nick Diaz, Nate Diaz, Robbie Lawler, and Max Holloway. One of the 2-time champion, the other ones are champions minus Nate Diaz has never been a champion. As much as they're champions in MMA, if at that time they won their belts, they would not win a belt in boxing.
Obviously.
All right.
But they weren't practicing for boxing, they were practicing for MMA.
Right.
If they were purely practicing on boxing, they would have been boxers.
Well, listen, since we're doing this video, let's talk about boxing first, and then you can move on to MMA. You mentioned that you wanted to talk about Tyson Fury, where he's going next.
Yeah.
Tell me what's going on with Tyson Fury.
I don't know what he's going to do. He said he's going to retire. Then there was negotiation with Anthony Joshua, Manuel Charr, and Derek Chisora. Nobody wanted to see the Derek Chisora fight, and that's the fight that ended up happening. And he won again dominantly. Yeah, 10th round stoppage. Yeah, but I don't know what he's going to do next. He called out Usyk and Joe Joyce. Yeah, I think personally Usyk is a better fight for him, because even though I think Usyk will win, yeah, because of Usyk's skills, Tyson Fury's got the weight and size. I think he would try to bully Usyk instead of doing what Anthony Joshua did, which is trying to box him.
So, a couple of things there you mentioned what I'm interested in. So first of all, you think Usyk will beat Fury? Yeah. Because of his skill. What do you see in his skill? What you think he could capitalize on to beat Fury, or does Fury not having a skill set that you think Usyk could capitalize on? What's the difference?
I think Usyk's very elusive and very smart. He uses his jab very well, and I think Tyson Fury's not fought. Like, the people that Tyson Fury beat are brawlers or trying to take your head off. Yeah, more like, but then Usyk's trying to box smart and try and think of the best strategy. Wilder was trying to take his head off. Yeah, Dylan White was there for payday. Like, Tyson Fury's not for a proper technical boxer. Yeah, I think Usyk's going to be a tricky match, because Tyson Fury hasn't fought that style. But then Usyk, on the other hand, has fought Tyson Fury's style a few times.
Who?
Huh? Like other boxers, like out of range, staying there in range, jabbing. Like,
right, so
not as tall as Fury, obviously.
Okay, so a few things there. I do believe what you said partially about Wilder is true. So I think Wilder made Fury look like a god. Wilder is so wild, so not technical. Great timing, great power, great speed. Yeah, he puts it all together, and he's got that power that could put you out. But he's so raw technically, he made Fury look like a god.
He did.
Hold on. And when I say that, if you look at Wilder's last fights, his last 10 fights most probably, he was behind on points in every single one of those fights.
All of the fights.
Yeah. And then he comes out with a haymaker and wins, and I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Because Fury's a very good boxer, it made Fury look great. But I'll tell you this though, look at Luis Ortiz. I don't think Wilder landed the punch in either of those 2 fights until he landed his knockout blow. So again, as much as Fury, the end point is the knockout and Wilder won, I already seen Wilder outboxed before Fury. Yeah. So when Fury outboxed him, I wasn't surprised or nothing at all. So I do see that. I do say this though, is that Fury's a very, very, very complicated boxer to fight based on multiple reasons. Size, speed, skill, ring IQ. He can fight anywhere. He can fight on the inside, can fight on the outside, can box and anything. However, there's a style. There's 2 phrases in boxing. 1, style make fights, and 2, a good big one always beats a good little one. Tyson Fury is a massive big one, and as I said before, Usyk, no matter how you cut it, is my size or smaller. Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm small. I'm just saying though, I've been next to Fury. I've been next to big guys. I've been with some of my mates who are big guys. I know as much as I'm a big guy and I weigh 220, 225, I'm not a heavyweight.
But then I disagree with the fact that you said Fury looked like a god against Wilder.
He did.
No. In 3 fights against Wilder, and the second one doesn't really count because he just destroyed Wilder. If you look at the first... You can't
delete a fight. How can you delete a fight? The second one doesn't really count. You can't delete a fight.
No, the second one it doesn't count because there's nothing significant that made Wilder look good in that fight. But in the first fight and the third fight, Wilder knocked Fury down 4 times. Yeah. If Wilder's that bad technically, Fury shouldn't. Therefore, according to that, Fury shouldn't have been getting knocked down 4 times. And the second knockdown, Fury woke up like the Walking Dead. He was basically out. He was out. And some referees pulled the fight off as soon as he landed.
Just remember though, that fight took place only because Wilder thought Fury was easy pickings. Fury was 30 stone or 32 stone at the time, and was dropping weight and was still extremely big and out of shape. He wasn't the fighter he was because he's obviously regained his conditioning over those 2 warm-up fights against Seferi and the other guy, and then obviously then after that he had the Walian fight and the other fight, the other guy, and then he got his conditioning back. But in the first fight, that was the worst version of Fury, not the Fury that we're seeing today in XYZ. But let's not go off track. Where do you see Fury going? Because you think Usyk could beat him. What about Joe Joyce?
Joe Joyce will beat him as well. Joe Joyce I think, will take everything through at him, and give it back, and I think Joe Joyce, his stamina is really good as well. Like, for a while, he was just swinging. Joe Joyce is very technical with his power punches. He sets it all up, like, very nicely. And he tries to cut you off. If he traps, I think he can do enough damage to Fury, to beat him over, like, I think I'd say if the fight goes over 6 rounds, under 10.
Okay.
Yes, between 6 and 10, I think Joe Joyce will win that.
I think, okay, so both fights are tremendous fights. Fury versus Usyk or Joyce is tremendous fights. They're both difficult fights and tricky fights for different reasons. But I'm on the side with you, Tyler, that I think Joe Joyce is a trickier fight for different reasons. I think Joe Joyce is underratedly strong. He's super tough. He's like a Marvel superhero. Nice. He absorbs everything and gives it back. If you know anything about comic books, remember Bishop in X-Men? You hit him, he takes all your charge, and then he dishes it back out. And that's what Joe Joyce is. He just takes everything and then dishes it out 10 times worse. When he fought Joseph Parker, that was, I think it was round 3. I was like, the fight's over. It was so one-sided. It was as one-sided as Fury versus Chisora. It was absolutely.
Not as one-sided. At least Joe Joyce was Parker was landing strikes to the head.
Parker was loading up and that pass to the head, and Joe just sucked it up like it was nothing.
No, he didn't blink.
He did. He sucked it like it was nothing. It was easy work for him. I think Usyk's much more trickier because he is very smart, got a high ring IQ, and technically he's smart. However, in the first fight, Joshua didn't do great, but he was all over Usyk at certain points and marked him up a lot because obviously he's a smaller man, and obviously Joshua was doing damage as well, but just wasn't winning rounds. It was very lethargic, I would say. Fury would do much more than that. So even though if I had to bet money, I'll bet money on Fury beating Usyk. I think the Joe Joyce voice is a much closer, more competitive fight, and I wouldn't make a decision on who's going to win that fight until I see their training camps and everybody what's going on. And
apparently, Joe Joyce's bone density as well was like 5 times thicker than the average human.
You know, to tell you what I will say about that, and I'll say that promoters and people come up with so much these narratives and stories. I think it takes that with a pinch of salt. Not saying it's not true. It may be true. I'm just saying so. I've heard so much from promoters, from be it Don King, Vince McMahon, Dana White, Frank Warren. Promoters lie and say things all the time. So I'm not gonna take that. I'm not gonna say it's a fact. I'm just saying I read it. I heard the story. I thought it was an article I read or something. But
he's like I feel like Joe Joyce is the MMA boxing version of Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira made of titanium. Alex Pereira is solid metal. You hit him, he's not phased. And he hits you once, you're sleeping. Right.
Let's move on to MMA. You wanted to talk about MMA. You said there was a big fight this weekend. Tell me about this big fight.
Magomed Ankalaev was fighting Jan Blachowicz, and it was meant to be Yuri Prohaska versus Glover Teixeira, but then Yuri pulled out with a apparently very serious shoulder injury and one of the worst the UFC have seen. So Yuri will be out for the next 6 months for sure. And UFC offered Glover a fight with Magomed Ankalaev, and Glover said no, because I haven't, this completely different style. And he said, let me fight Jan Blachowicz because I've fought him already and I know his style much better than Magomed Ankalaev. And that makes sense. But then the UFC turned that down, so now it's Magomed versus Jan.
So I think the UFC dropped the ball with that. I think they dropped the ball big time. I don't see why you don't have the former champion who was due to fight this weekend not fighting the main event when he didn't want to fight. The option you gave him was short notice. And then you had the 2 guys that were on the undercard that are ranked lower than Glover,
2 and 3,
who's the former world champ, fighting for the title, which means whichever guy wins the title, especially if it's Blachowicz, who lost the title to Glover, it makes the champion weak. It hasn't put the best person forward for the division.
Yeah.
Would you agree? Would you disagree?
I agree.
So I kind of find the fight, I wouldn't say worthless, but it's lost its value.
Yeah. Even though I would like to see the fight, I wish like something happened like Glover's the backup if someone misses weight or something like that, and then like Ankalaev like misses weight or something like that, and you get Bukovic versus Glover too. I think people will enjoy that more than Magomed Ankalaev versus Bukovic.
I don't know. I don't get it. And like I said, I don't get it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Ankalaev is not a name, but it's clearly not a star.
Mm-hmm.
I think having Glover versus Blakovic, who beat Adesanya 18 months ago, if that. Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Having those two on a billboard, and obviously promoting that fight sells more than Ankalaev versus Blakovic.
100%.
And again, don't get me wrong, Blakovic is a name because he's a former world champion and be a pound for pound number 1, number 2, number 3, whatever you want to call Adesanya at the time. But Blakovic is a moderate draw at best. Mm-hmm. He's not a big draw. So I don't know what Dana White or the UFC was thinking of that. I think they've actually hurt the division more than anything. Mm-hmm. You know, since John Jones left the division, it's the division's been a bit sour.
I wouldn't say that. I'll say it's entertaining. It's an entertaining division for sure. Yeah, because you got like Thiago Santos just moved to PFL, but then you got Jamal Hill, Paul Craig, Johnny Walker's still there. He's trying to get wins. You got the top 3, and it's not a bad division. You still got Alexander Rakic there.
But you just mentioned Jamal Hill and these other guys, Craig, whatever, Paul Craig and everything, and like these guys are not bad guys, but these are not needle pushers. They're not stars. They're not names. If you put those names on the billboard, no one's going to be like, oh.
Jamal Hill will.
You need to build them up. You need to put those guys on the main card, and even if it's the opener, put them out and get them out there. A lot of these guys are fighting on the prelim cards.
I know, but Jamal Hill's had like 3 fight night main events now. So I think I think loads of people know him, and because of his knockout power, he's a draw.
I'll tell you this, and again, this is from a boxing point of view. Before you were born, I watched the cards from 4:00 in the evening till whenever it was on.
And that's why I do MMA now.
And when we used to watch the fights in America live, if you had back in the day in the 90s, Sky would put a UK card on to join to the American card. So you start watching boxing from 8-9 o'clock in the evening all the way through to 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. They don't do that no more. The point I'm making is that on the prelim cards, well, the pre-prelims, the prelims, and the main card, it's 10 hours of MMA.
No,
good. No, it's not. Right. Good MMA fans or fans of MMA, especially fans with families or with a life or with a job, can't watch 10 hours of MMA to find out who's up and coming. Yeah. Their business model works. Obviously, the UFC is huge, but they're not building stars correctly because those shows are too long. I'm lucky if I get to watch the full main card in one day. When me and you watch it, what I normally do, I watch the fights I want to see and skip, then watch the other fights in the evening. Because I can't sit down on a Sunday morning for 4 hours or 3 hours when you got to go classes, your sister's got to go classes, and we got to do all these other things within the day. It's not enough time.
Yeah, and now the main card of that of UFC 282 looked very good at the start with Robbie Lawler versus Santiago Ponzinibbio.
Robbie Lawler's done.
He's done, but it's still entertaining. He's still entertaining though.
I remember Robbie Lawler when he was knocking out
people's heads off.
Yeah, but when he fought who's the guy that fought
Robbie Lawler? I mean Roy McDonald.
Not Roy McDonald.
Carlos Condit.
No, slow down. I remember when he was fighting the guy that just fought Yoel Romero.
Melvin
Manhoff. I remember when he fought Manhoff years ago. This was supposed to be in maybe 2011 or maybe even before that. Yeah. Maybe even before that, and that was a war, and he came back from behind, and man was lighting him up, and he landed a massive shot and knocked him out cold. That was Robbie Lawler. That was supposed to be that was more than 10 years ago. That was a long time ago, yeah? Robbie Lawler today and the guy that fought Manhoff are 2 distant cousins, like I said. Yeah? They're not even related.
Yeah. But I say he's still entertaining. His fight against, he obviously the fights against Colby Covington and those 4 decision losses he had weren't entertaining. But the Nick Diaz fight he had and
that was a terrible fight.
it wasn't terrible. It was entertaining. I found that entertaining. Maybe
Res-
because I'm a fan of both of them.
Respectfully, they both look stuck in the mud.
Stuck
in the mud. Yeah,
stuck in the mud. No,
yeah, they look stuck in the mud.
No, I understand Robbie because Robbie's been stuck in the mud for ages. But then Nick Diaz had two herniated discs.
Okay, let's not go off track. You said this fight of the weekend is a big fight.
Yeah.
Do you feel it's a big fight and it's worthy of a UFC main event?
No.
Yeah. Do you feel the person that wins this fight is going to be the champion or a worthy champion to the successor of Yuri Prochazka?
No.
Do you think the champion is worthy to the former champion in Glover Teixeira?
No.
No, because he beat Blachowicz. And who was the champion before Glover?
Jan
Blachowicz, who's fighting.
Yeah.
And the champion before that was?
John
Jones. Yeah. The point I'm making is that since John Jones wiped out the division, and to be fair, that was mostly the best era of light heavyweights in MMA, the light heavyweight division in UFC is stagnant. As much as I like Yuri Prochazka, and I thought he's got tremendous stand-up and great skills overall, I did see holes in his fight when he fought Glover.
Yeah,
since John Jones, Daniel Cormier, rest in peace Rumble Johnson, and Alexander Gustafsson, and all the other guys out there around that era. Gustafsson.
No.
Gustafsson. Say it. I met the dude.
Gustafsson.
Don't laugh at me.
Alex the Mauler Gustafsson.
Alright then, the point I'm making is, since that time, the division's been stagnant. And I don't think this card over the weekend, or this championship fight of the weekend, is going to help it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah? Alright then, Ty. Not bad.
Yeah,
good. I created a little monster here. Not bad. Okay, if you like this video, please comment and let us know what you think. If it's a good video, then I'll consider giving this boy his channel. Alright then, what are you gonna say to people, Tyler?
Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video.